guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and if you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel, as I do a variety of planner related videos, including plan with me, budget with me, as well as doodle with me, and sometimes even DIY videos. And if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I do upload a video. So for this video, we will be going over my February recap numbers in my DIY budget, and I will link that below, or my DIY budget planner, which is a Erin Condren and Happy Planner hybrid. And we'll also be going over how much to date I have in my $5 challenge, because it is something that I am tracking on my budget. So this is a good time as any to go over those numbers. So we'll actually do that first, since it's here and I want to get it out of the way. So in January, I started to do budgeting, to be of a more cash-based budget. And then I saw some videos on a $5 challenge. It isn't a new concept, but it was new to me. And so it seemed like an interesting thing to try to do. So for January and February, and these are our numbers as of February 28, 2019, I believe I have $150 in fives. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 1. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Nope, 140. Is that right? All right, guys, I had to take a minute to figure out what was going on with my fives. I could have sworn since the last check-in that I had picked up another 3 fives, but this comes out to 140. So, and I've looked all over, and my room is tiny, so it's not like it could have gone anywhere. But I could have sworn I had 15 extra dollars, but whatever, we're just gonna go forward. So what we're gonna do now is recap my February, so that will help me when I am going into March. And I actually started an expense tracker, but I won't talk about that in this video. I'll actually talk about that in the next video that I'm going to film, whether today or later on this week, where I set up my cash envelopes. So we'll move this here, and we'll go in the last page of February. And what I'll do is I will just, I could take it off the rings, but I'll just keep that to the side so you don't really need to see that. And this is, I had talked about my debt snowball in my last video, and I will link that below. But really, we're just going to do a recap going into March, so I know where my numbers are. And I know a lot of people who use Erin Condren use sticker sets to make it all nice and pretty, but I don't have them, nor am I really interested in getting them. And I'm just going to use a little bit of washi here at the top, just to, actually, I was going to use red to close out February, but I think I'll use this one, if I can find the start, since we're going into March. And I kind of wanted to match that. So we'll put this here at the top. And this is some Hawaiian themed washi tape that I did find at my local Walmart. I will try to link that, but to be perfectly honest, I just kind of stumbled across it because it's not in the planner section, and it wasn't in the scrapbook section. It actually was near the greeting cards section of the Walmart that I was at, which is, I think it was the Kapolei. Might have been the Kunia. I don't know. It was one of those. But it was near the greeting card section, and they had an entire section of Hawaiian washi as well as Hawaiian stamps or Hawaiian-based stamps. So if you are here in Hawaii and you're going to your Walmart, look by the greeting card section or look by where they have the lauhala baskets, because I think that was in that area as well. But that's where I found that. And then I actually have this budget sticker book from Happy Planner, and to be perfectly honest, I wanted it to want it, but it's actually not very, it's not very helpful. So I will use some of the pages. Some of them I might do, like give away or do in a friend mail or whatever it is people do. But I don't know that I'll be picking this up again. So we'll do budget review. I know lots of Etsy shops have those sticker sets that fit the Erin Condren, but to be perfectly honest, I don't feel the need for it. And more, I mean, I like it to be pretty, but I don't need it to be pretty. So just this little bit, I think, is actually going to be good enough for me. So February 2019 budget review. I'm hoping I don't need all of that space at the top there. Now I am fairly new at this, so we will see whether or not I even have enough lines to track everything, because this is the very first time that I have done a budget recap. So we'll figure it out together. And here I want to track my expenses. And the way that I do my budget is a little bit different from some of the other people that I watch, is because when I'm doing my budgeting, I'm really budgeting after I have paid all of my bills. So all of my credit card debt, my housing, my student loan, iTunes, all of that. After all of that is paid for, then I track and try to budget for whatever's remaining to help me with my savings, cash envelopes, sinking funds, more debt snowball payments, whatever. So when I do it, you're not going to see a whole bunch of credit cards listed and the corresponding payments, just because I do that already ahead of time. So the only part of that you'll be seeing regarding my credit cards is when I talk on a monthly basis on my debt snowball recaps. So this is just basically what's remaining of my paychecks. So for expenses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a total. And then we'll do cash envelopes. I do apologize if this seems all over creation. Like I said, I'm new to budgeting, and I didn't do a recap in January because I was very new to budgeting, and I'm just trying to figure out a system, what works for me. So 1, 2, 3, 4 total, and then we'll do sinking funds. And because the Erin Condren sheet, and I want to say this is a 9x6, is smaller than this, I know I can get more on a classic sized than I can on this, but I've already set it up. Plus I really love the quality of the Erin Condren. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total, and then savings. Okay, so for my expenses, and I'm hoping this is in frame, and it's not considered an expense so much. Well, it was for January, so that's why I keep it in here. But I do have an account cushion. Oh, and I see where this is going to be problematic. So can I salvage that? Because it's cute. That looks quite janky, but whatever. We're just trying to recap our numbers. We're not trying to win an Instagram prize. So, account cushion. So this is starting. And this is my paycheck on the 5th, my paycheck on the 20th, and ending. And normally I'd actually do this off camera, but I did ask in my last video if you guys wanted to see setup, and so a few of you did, and so here we are. And if I can, when I'm doing the editing, if I can edit through some of it, then I certainly will, because I don't want this to be 8 million years long. But I did want you to see how I do it, again, because I do budgeting a little bit different. And I also don't use as many sticker kits, so the setup is a little different as well. So account cushion, cash envelopes, and that was for February. Cash envelopes for March. Savings and sinking funds. And I don't know if I'm doing this right, but the reason why I consider this expenses is because this is money that I'm taking out after I pay all of my bills. This is money that I have left in order to pay for, if that makes any sense. So I do like to have $100 in my account at all times, and that's just my main checking account, so I don't really touch that. For cash envelopes, I came into February with $26, and I added $77.92 on the 5th. I added $80 on the 20th, and then that totaled $183. So all of that equals to that. And I will actually be doing in a weekly checkup, not for February since we're already past, but going forward, every week I'll be actually showing where the monies of this is going for. Although, thinking about it, I will need to have a better starting figure for March. We're just going to do what it is. And I think I might have to do another column when I do the March budget review, just to start the 2 paychecks, the ending, and then, no, that's what's going to go here. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry, guys. So cash envelopes for March, and the reason I have that is the bulk of the money that I have to use for living comes on the 20th. At least that's the way I'm doing my budget now. So on this paycheck, I actually have to save for the following month. So I'm at $240, and for savings, I started with $50. I added $30 on the 5th and $70 on the 20th. And that's not normal, but I did have a little bit left over from my tax refund. So savings is there, and actually that will show in 2 different spots, but because I am taking this out of the money that I have from my paycheck, that's why that's there. Sinking funds I did not have in January. I was able to start it around the 5th because of a tax refund. And with my tax refund, and again, it's in that video I linked below, I was able to pay off 2 small credit cards, do a sinking funds, and put some money in savings, and still have enough money to do an extra payment on a credit card I should be having paid off in the next few months. So it was small, it was $533, but it definitely was helpful. On the 20th, I took $81 from my paycheck, and so that's $281. And so the total of all of this is $954.92. Now, from an accounting standpoint, what I'm going to need to reconcile is, what did I start off January, or what did I end in January with, to these numbers here, because this is not going to be normal, because going forward I'm not going to be able to put as much in some of these funds. So this doesn't really actually tie to anything that I've done before, but this is a true total of what this was here. And again, normally this number will be lower. I'm thinking it would be lower, because if I take away the $533 that I got as my tax refund, that puts me in the $400 something I actually usually have per month. But I'm going to need to think about it a little bit more, just to see what it is, and I'm truly tracking, because if I'm bringing forward monies and these are the totals of all of the things I'm bringing forward, this might be misskewed. So I'll think about it, but again, work in progress, guys. So for my cash envelopes, and really they're cash dividers because that's how I keep track of it in my wallet, I right now have 4 categories. And that is personal, eating out, personal, work, office, and then eating out at work. And so it was really hard for me to figure out where my numbers were, because I actually only started these particular categories on the 20th. I had some other ones before, and that was just a train wreck. So I started out on the 20th for personal with $21, eating out $42, office $20, and eating out at work $10. And I actually have left $6 here, 0 there, 10 there, and $3 there. So that's 19. $21 plus 42 plus 20 plus 10. 21 plus. And that's 93. So that's what I have remaining. And again, I could have sworn $15 of that difference was in fives. I cannot find it. It is really freaking me out, or just annoying me to no end. But whatever. So sinking funds, beauty and toiletries. And some of these I might split out more or change the names. For instance, this Christmas one, I might just change to gifts, and just have a gift fund, so like birthday gifts or office gifts or whatever, because I don't have one for that, and I know those are things that I'm going to be needing funds on. And that's prescription and copay. And I will be doing a separate video on my sinking funds, just to go over a little bit more about what it is. But also, I know a lot of people, unbudgeted, miscellaneous, do sinking funds in, all right, so you've got a registration due on your car in November. So you're going to take the estimated cost of that and then work backwards to whatever month you're in. So if you're in March and you have until November to pay it, then you would divide that up into the 5 or 6 months so that you have just small little savings to save up for that debt. I haven't actually started that way. I was just throwing money in categories, but when I do just the video on my sinking funds, then I will actually think about, okay, how much do I actually want to end up with? And you know, what do I really want to use that for? So like planner stuff. I mean, obviously there's going to be a new release next week for Happy Planner, but I don't know that I'll actually pick anything up. I do want to pick up another mini for July, since mine does end in June. For giveaway, I'll need to really inventory of what I have, because I already have things in my stash for giveaways. Again, I might change that. And then for beauty and toiletries, I might take that out of sinking funds, or at least adjust it, and put toiletries here in a cash envelope and beauty in a sinking fund. But again, I'll think about that, and then in that video I'll go ahead and, you know, explain a little bit more on totals and whatnot. So this one, I did not start with it because I didn't have anything on the 1st of February. And then because I did get the tax refund, I did put away money for these categories. And when I had the $200, because I knew I could put that here comfortably because that tax refund was not expected, I didn't do it like I broke it down, the $200 equally. Basically, I just thought, okay, so what of these buckets need more money? And I just threw more in there. So there was really no rhyme or reason. On the 20th, I was able to put $81. And again, I'm thinking the Christmas or the gift, and let me actually just write that down. Pool will need to be the biggest, just because that's going to include Mother's Day, Father's Day, my parents' anniversary, my brother's birthday, my other brother's birthday, my parents' birthday, my niece's birthday, and then office birthdays, administrative day. I mean, there's just a lot of things I like participating in. And so if I have money in a bucket for it, that just helps overall. Although if I have to, I can also dip into my cash envelopes as well. So 32 and 37, 32 and 52. And I actually still have all of this. What I did was I opened up a Discover debit card, and I only just got the card like a couple of days ago, so I didn't even have access to any of this. But then I also didn't actually purchase any of this. So it's not like any of this came out of here, so that's fine. And then the last thing to recap is Discover. And I also have a Discover savings account that I do an auto deposit directly from my paycheck. And so we started with $125.30, and then every paycheck $25 is added. And then on the last day of the month, I also got interest, which was 25 cents. So my grand total is $175.55. And then in my $5 challenge, I started off with $40. On the 5th, when I did up until that point, I had $45. And then on the 20th, at that point, I had $40. And I swear, and I'm going to keep until I find it or figure out what I did, I swear there was an extra 15. But right now, that's 40, 80, 125. Right? 125. Maybe it's my math that's wrong. Because if I add the 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, guys, I'm going to lose my mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 5 times 20 is 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I tell you, I know things. I know that doesn't seem evident now, but I know how to do things. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. All right. I don't know where I miscounted in that 150 scenario, but that's where that $15 is. Because I made this mistake the last time. Okay, so on the 20th, I had $40 in fives. I added another 15 since then, so I have $140 in my $5 challenge. Goodness. And then the savings that I am taking out of my paycheck, I did start off with $50, and I added 30 on the 5th, 70 on the 20th, and so in that one I have 150. And that's just cash that I have here in the house. And what I might do is, because I'm not real comfortable about keeping all that cash here, I might move that into either that there in the savings account on Discover, or I might move it back into my, or I might move it into my regular checking account, because I only have the Discover savings, the Discover debit, and then my checking account. But again, I don't want that much cash, so I'll need to figure out where I'm gonna put it. So right now we have $465.55. And that's total. All right, guys, I think that was just way more difficult than it should have been, but that's how I roll. And it's not fancy, and it's certainly not pretty, but it does at least sort of get the job done. Again, I think I'm still missing something where my ending balance shouldn't be caught on here, because like this one makes sense, because this one I'm going to bring forward into March, and so I know I'm going to be starting with $19. But for this one, maybe I just have to stop thinking, because I mean, this is basically money that's all been spent or accounted for somewhere. So maybe, I don't know. Because that one's right, that one's right, that one's right. But that doesn't total to that, because why would it? Some of these things never hit this account. So I don't know. If you guys know what I should be doing or what I'm doing wrong, then please let me know. And I did have my $5 in this. This is something I showed last week, where I do keep all of the cash that I'm holding. Again, because I am using money from one month to help pay for weeks in the next month, and then this is where I had that money, but it is quite a bit. So I did create some envelope style, and I have this kind and I have this kind that folds over, and I think I might put that there while I'm still deciding what I'm going to be doing with this money, because I would like to have my $1,000 in emergency fund, so this might go towards that. I might use this towards debt. I don't know. Oh, that's cute. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of look like how this little fat envelope looks, but yeah. All right, guys, I thought this would be quick, and I think this is going to be like 2 hours long. Oh. But this is my February budget review for my budgeting journey, and if you're still watching, thank you so much. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. And as always, guys, aloha.